Okay, so here we go. I think this is gonna be part of some solo cast. I might call Nick here in a little bit to see how he's doing, to see what's up. But my anxiety's been so bad I couldn't go to work for the last since Thursday, I guess, and I've been working out at a grow. It's been helping out a lot. I still have some anxiety, obviously being introduced to new people. I don't trust people to stay home and to quarantine, and the people that I work with, I don't really. The people don't fucking understand just to stay the fuck back. Like, I don't understand. It's not that goddamn hard. Stay 6 feet away from people. Like, just stay the fuck back. Like, just for the comfort of everybody else. I don't understand why you got to be up on people. And, like, you can't remember. You see people fucking moving away and you want to fucking move towards them while you're telling a story. It's like, god damn, dude, can we not tell a story right now? Is it necessary to tell your fucking boring ass story right now? We're in the middle of a fucking pandemic. Nobody gives a fuck about this shit. Just get to work and do whatever the fuck you got to do. And let's get the fuck on with the shit. I just want to get on with my day and go home. And that's all I really give a fuck about now. Is just getting home. I want to get back to the shop. I want things to go back to normal. When I get better at making masks and those kind of things, I'll definitely be back at the shop. And in a month, it could be a lot for as far as treatment and testing, and we could be in a whole different place by then. So to me, that's what this month off gives me, is time away and time to not hopefully get sick while this whole thing's getting bad. But, I mean, I'm just staying healthy as I possibly can. Yeah, I'm not even smoking that much. I'm trying to make some edibles because I definitely still want to get high, but with the smoking, like, I'll smoke and then, I'll get a little bit of a cough or a wheeze from it, and I'm like, fuck, is it worth it? And it's like, you're definitely not helping your lungs out by doing it, I assume. And I know that it definitely puts you more of a risk by smoking, so I'm assuming that means smoking anything. It's all annoying as shit. I'm just fucking rolling to the store with a fucking joint in my mouth, putting it out, getting out of the car, walking into Walmart, grabbing whatever the fuck I wanted, getting back in the car, lighting that joint up like it ain't shit. Definitely miss it. It's a weird fucking time to be in right now where we're at and with everything going on, but I'm also, I'm thankful. I get to talk to my mom more. I talk to her every day. Call her. You talk to more people. I miss the people I work with. Los and Nick. Obviously, Nick, but Nut. All of them. My homies. Brandon. Yeah, it's weird without, all of them. Even, Darla and obviously everybody who I love up there, miss seeing them. Just even the little bit of times that I did see Nut and Darla when they would just be up there. I miss the work. I don't miss fucking retarded people, to be honest. But yeah, I just wish that. I guess I'm gonna sound like an asshole, but I wish people would be more health conscious, just period, because people don't think about fucking touching their face and all that other shit, just the little things. And I'm not even talking about the social distancing and things that they're asking people to do right now, just on a regular basis. And it's those people who I think, the biggest problem with, because I'm overly health conscious, period, in life. And like now something like this, it makes me super paranoid, obviously. And now I want to stick by CDC guidelines and stay 6 feet away from people. All of that because, and it's like 90% of the time it's fine. Now, why? Why take the risk? I get some people like, oh, I just don't understand, like, why not just stay back? Why not just follow these simple rules? Why not just, it's not hard, stay inside. I hear people, okay, Now, people without jobs, people losing homes, all those kinds of things, that's obviously terrifying as shit, and that, it fucking beyond blows. But beyond that, people bitching about being bored. Hey, fuck off, man. Okay, you're bored. Who gives a fuck that you're fucking bored? Like, good. Yeah, I mean, okay. Figure out something to do with your mental state then. And fix that you're bored. Like, nobody gives a flying fuck that you're bored. Just, take... I don't know. The being bored thing should be the least of your fucking concerns right now, considering the fact that you could be choking up on your own blood. And I don't know how many people have looked into what a ventilator entails. It's not good. It's a life support machine. So you're put into a medical coma before they even give it on you. So most likely you're dead. I was reading things of people, they weren't sure what the numbers were going to be because there was a lot of heart attacks and coronavirus, kidney failure and coronavirus. But the way I understand it is that when your lungs can't pull in the oxygen, they're trying to basically just help your body breathe with the ventilator in hopes that they can feed your brain enough oxygen to outsurvive the virus. And hopefully the virus dies before you do, while you're basically dead. And hopefully they can bring you back after. I think that's the part that's, like, to me is the most fucked. And it's like, that's why you stay back. Because maybe you're going to be fine. Maybe most likely I'll be fine. 90% chance I'll be fine. Let's see. I mean, this is still early, too. And I did some math. If, 1,300 people wind up dying in Oklahoma, how many people in my age group? And I think I said about 15. So it could be 15 to 30. And, let's see. God. Damn it. Okay. So we have 1,472 cases, which is a good amount here in Oklahoma. And 67 deaths. And then, fucking bitch. The best site for a lot of information, as far as, okay, we're at 1472, yeah. And 2 people out of 257, 18 to 35 have passed, which is, that's a good amount. I think it's more than you want. Let's see. Yeah, see. Okay, so it's 0.019. 0.009. Yeah, okay. But that's just so far. That's, we still got to give that number 2 weeks. The 257, we got to give that number 2 weeks. But, I guess that number's pretty good. Other age groups aren't obviously as well. You've got 36 to 49, so from 18 to 49, you've got about 4. But from 50 to 64, you have 11 out of 384, which is still not bad. But then you move over to 65, and 52 of those out of 486, which is, I'm sure if we do the percentage on those, it's still a small number. But, obviously being old right now is terrifying as shit. But also, contracting it from a fucking old person is a huge possibility too. So, you know, the kid who passed, who was 22 yesterday, which today is the 7th, I believe. Yeah, today is the 7th. So the kid who passed away on the 6th, he was 22 years old and he was a Quick Trip employee. It's a really sad story. When you look it up, I'll read it a little bit because, you know, I mean, let's see. So there's a really good reporter, if you're from Owasso, Tulsa area, Cassie McClung, KassieMcClung. Yeah, she's got a lot of good information, but the story she wrote for the kid was really good. The kid who passed, or the story, maybe she retweeted it, but okay. Yeah, Tiffany Alenzies is the one who wrote this story on the young man who passed, who was 22. And the other girl retweeted it, but the other girl does have a lot of really good information. I want to find this damn story. I didn't prep, so this is obviously... Okay, this is a story. It's sad and unimaginable, but it's important to let you know. This started about Israel Swaz. Swaz, I'm assuming. Sorry, brother. 22 years old, a new dad, husband. He died last night in Tulsa from corona. What happened in the weeks before his death is hard to process. His wife talked on the phone this evening, and Crystal explained to Shay that Israel had gotten sick mid-March. Israel's parents attended the same church as a man who died from coronavirus. His parents got sick but not required hospitalization. Crystal took their newborn son, Josiah, to her own parents' house because Josiah was a preemie and had spent time in the NICU and is more vulnerable. Israel became sick with a fever, chills, cough, and continued to feel worse over several days. They went to a hospital where Israel was diagnosed with a stomach virus. Then sent him home. Crystal fought for further testing but said they couldn't do more. Israel's fevers continued along with the cough, chills, body aches. A few days later, Crystal took Israel to a clinic where they tested him for strep and flu but not coronavirus. They told Crystal and Israel that he had some sort of viral infection, gave him antibiotics, and sent him home. By Sunday, 3/29, Israel's fever was 104. He was weak, couldn't walk, and had shallow breathing. Crystal called and talked with a state coronavirus hotline. They told her to call the hospital and tell the hospital that the state coronavirus hotline said he needed a coronavirus test. Crystal took Israel to the hospital where he was admitted and put on a ventilator when he was still able to talk. With Crystal, he told her it's in God's hands now. Doctors sedated Israel, and by the middle of last week, he started showing signs of improvement. But Sunday, the hospital called her and said he was not doing well and she should come to the hospital. They allowed her to stand behind the glass and see him for a short time. They stabilized him, but Sunday at 10 p.m., they called Crystal and said that they had been doing CPR on Israel for 5 minutes and trying any medication. He didn't survive. He was 22, married with a loving family and a son born. March 1st, Israel graduated from Union High School in Tulsa and worked at Quick Trip as an assistant manager. My heart breaks for his family, and my mind cannot comprehend how this happened. Obviously, it's sad as shit. But I think it points out the severity of the situation, and that just because you're young and you think that God's got you or God's going to protect you or however you see this, that it takes anybody's life. And that's why we need to stay 6 feet from each other if you don't live in the same household. You know, limit your human interactions as much as you can. Don't go to the grocery store every day. You obviously don't need to get a ridiculous supply of things that you don't need, but stay within 10 days. Only go to the store every 10 days. Plan that far ahead. Try it. It's obviously not the fucking easiest thing to do or easiest thing, especially with everybody being broke or whatever, but I don't know. If you lost your job, there's no shame in filing for unemployment either. And it's enough money to survive right now, at least. I feel bad for people who didn't plan ahead and who don't have a month's worth of rent saved up or 2 months. Just off the bat, if some unfortunate situation happened, but there should be a huge lesson in that. At the least, it should be a huge lesson. It was a lesson for me to have food. I had money. I've got, I pay rent ahead, so I do those kind of things. It's not like, but I didn't have groceries and things like that, and those are going to be things that I'm more prepared on and things like that. Don't just pay your rent ahead of time. Don't pay your car payments ahead of time. Those kind of things, yeah, it's obviously good to do, but hey, guess what? The car payment doesn't do a whole lot when you can't go to the grocery store and find meat. You know what I mean? So I was always good about those things, but these are going to be other things that I'm going to be good at. So I think that goes for other people too. The people who were, maybe better at having groceries instead at home, but don't have rent paid ahead or don't have a preparation for it. If shit hits the fan, this is how I got to do A, B, and C, and then I have another month's worth of rent. Yeah. But I'm definitely going to be prepared from now on for all those kinds of things. I'm doing things like, I eat about like 3 eggs a day. I'm going to try to, or me and my wife each, so that's 6 a day. So I'm going to try to start making more nutrient-dense food with the eggs, so that way we can cut it down to like 3 in a total, so cut that in half. It's just little things. And I feel like it'll help in the long run. I feel like it's I don't know. I just think that it's a good idea to just take this as a big lesson to be more prepared. It's also done a good job of making me be more grateful for everything. And I'm realizing what's important, like, trying to talk to my son every single night. Little things. Yeah, also just realizing what's really important, like my wife and my son and those kinds of things, because, wanting to spend time at home and not just being obsessed with grabbing money. Now, obviously, when the opportunity comes back and those kinds of things, I would definitely like to be making more money and being more ambition for things like that, but I also want to do it for me now, like to be something for myself and not for somebody else. Yeah, I love being a manager. I love doing the job that I do, but I don't want to work for somebody else for my entire life. And I think that's probably going to be, yeah, this is more motivation and more kick in the ass to like make something for yourself. And yeah, I can definitely do it. Yeah, so things like this are going to help. I'm going to try to crank out a fuck ton of these things. The name of me and my buddy's podcast is going to be Pez and Fonz, so I'm going to call these the Pez Dispensers. Pez Dispensers? Pez Dispensers, I think, are the Pez Dispensary. Yeah. Pez Dispensin. But, it's just, they'll be more fun, obviously. there'll definitely be these updates because it's what's on everybody's mind, and I can at least give you some information from what's around here so you can kind of see some local stuff and know about your area. Your area is going to be more important than, what do you call it? Like the national level, if that makes sense. Also, New York is kind of good to look at if you can, kind of gauge some of theirs, because they do a lot of, they're kind of a little bit ahead of where everybody else is right now. So if you look at where they're at, they're kind of a projected timeline of most likely, well, unless you're in some other place, like, but they're more of a projected line of where people are at. If I could find, I haven't really looked at their numbers on people passing in my age group. And that would be interesting to look at. Let's see. So, yeah, but see, New York was kind of goofy because it was hard to, like, get a good number. Yeah, because, like, all their sources aren't like Oklahoma. Oklahoma's sources, the CD, or this. Okay, here we go. New York State Department of Health. They've got 138,000. But I want to see. Yeah, their website isn't very good for numbers. I want to see. Oh man, that's not what you wanted to see. Obviously I'm fucking this all up right here. There's nothing. I should have looked this shit up. I'll be better prepared next time with numbers. Okay. Deaths 3,544. Okay, rates by age. Okay, so 45 and up are going to be most of the cases, but God damn it, dude. Why is it so? Ages of death, coronavirus, New York. Okay. So, okay. Here we go. 20 to, wow. 20 to 22 is 20 to 29 is 22. 30 to 39 is 76. And 40 to 100 or 40 to 49 is 158. 50 to 59 is 377. 60 to 69, 600. Okay, so obviously, even in a state where you're looking at about worst case scenario, 22 people in my age bracket, and then 76 from 30 to 39, which I guess I'm kind of close to that. I might be more in that age bracket, but still on the 29 to 30, I guess. So I would imagine that most of those people aren't in their 30s, but I mean, you could say the same thing. You would imagine that most people aren't going to be in their 20s. So, I mean, but more or so, you're going to be fine if you have it, is what they say. But I don't know. Just trying to stay healthy as possible. So if that helps at all, then I have that on my side. What else? Yeah, I mean, it makes you appreciate everything that's important. I guess that's the only thing I can think about. You know, every time I go to think about something, it's like, remember what's important, health. Health is wealth. I heard that all the time. Health is wealth, and health is wealth. But yeah, I mean, remember who you love. It's a good time to look at the person you're with and be like, is this who I want to be with? It makes you realize how important those things are. Let's give Fonz a call. See what he's got to say.
Hello?
What's up, bro?
Hey, what's going on?
Are you at work?
No, I'm not. I had to do some other shit.
Oh, okay.
Are you? Long story short, nope.
Nope. What are you doing?
Just chilling with Hallie.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then I'll hit you up later.
No, what's up?
Oh, nothing. I was just doing a solo podcast here, and I was going to get some input from you.
Oh, shit. No, dude, I'm here. I'm live.
Oh, okay. Nothing, bro. I'm just talking shit. Talking about, missing shit, missing work, those kinds of things. Missing shit being normal. Laughing.
Yeah. It's, everything's far from that.
Yeah.
But
it's like a good reminder, though. I was, like, talking about how, it's a good reminder of what's important and what you care about.
Yeah, and who you fucking care about and that kind of shit. And you got to pick your time wisely, it seems like now, and who you spend time with. And got to be more particular, and kind of helps you weed out who you care about and who you don't.
For sure. Yeah. Big time.
Fucking timestamp that on the podcast.
Dude, 100%. We're 27 minutes in here. I've been talking shit by myself for 20 minutes, man. I was mainly reading stats from everything. But, I mean, for the most part, we're fine, and we're going to be safe, but it's just the paranoia, obviously, of not knowing what the fuck the thing is or not knowing how to treat it.
Yeah, the fact it's invisible is what fucks it. Like, you never know.
Yeah, that's what's fucked with me my entire life about getting sick, period, is that, you can't see it. You can't, like, my fucking dad's the one who turned me into this paranoid germaphobe, but... he was like, it's going to be fine. And I'm like, oh, okay, hey, your fault, though, okay? Still at the end of the day.
Yeah, still blaming you, Dad.
Yeah, hey, cool, still your fault. But
he made me this way.
Yeah, I mean, I remember how much he would talk shit on, like, washing your hands, all that fucking shit, all that proper shit, because otherwise you're going to get sick. And, his sister was really sick when he was young, though, and she passed away at, like, a young age, so he had that shit in his head, from a young-ass age, so... And then on top of that, being a fucking Marine.
I mean, yeah, everything's super structured and all that kind of shit. Like, but it all makes sense. I mean, and like,
I was just saying that, like, and you realize that you need to be more prepared for shit too. Like, I was so used to being comfortable and easy. Like, my life was so far removed from anything hard, and yeah, Yeah, and I made it that way on purpose. Obviously, like, that's what you do when you work hard and you do those kind of things. Like, you make life around you as easy as possible, you like. But now it's like, fuck, so much of that shit is limited. Like I was talking about, I miss just like strolling to the store, smoking a joint, putting the joint out, walking into the store, and then lighting that joint back up. It's like, I wouldn't even come close to doing anything like that now. I wouldn't even, I don't smoke. I'm cutting back how much I smoke. I'm trying to make edibles and shit like that just because I know it puts you more at risk. And then I'm not going to be smoking, put something out, walk into a store, and then put that same thing up to my mouth and light it before I even get home where I can wash my fucking hands and shit. I'm like,
exactly.
Yeah, it's like I miss those kind of stupid little things. Like, and then maybe that was just being too complacent. Like, like, I don't know. It's like,
well, I mean, it takes something to make you realize something. So it's not, like, there's nothing to blame, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, we definitely were
so comfortable,
not prepared, and we were taking shit for granted. And I mean, yeah, like just basically everything you said, I echo. Like, fucking, it's amazing, like how unprepared. I guess is the best.
Yeah, and like, like I was talking about financially, I was always prepared to have like a month or two of rent if I lost my job. Like always had those kinds of things.
Exactly. That's my thing. Is like I prepared for money. I didn't prepare for
food.
What if I fucking can't spend the money?
You know? Exactly. Or like my thing is like, okay, it's cool to have 2 months worth of rent or my car paid out for the next 6 months, but that doesn't do shit when I can't get meat at the grocery store.
Yeah, can I survive?
Yeah, like yeah, it's like it's stupid little shit. Like I'm like, oh, okay, well now I know we always have meat in the freezer. The freezer needs to be stocked up, and then you got it's like fuck, man. You don't think about what happens if the grocery store's closed down for 2 weeks. What happens if everything closes down for a month?
Exactly.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah. Yeah, and then the comfortability factor of other things too. Like it wasn't a big deal to work 9 to 9, 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. When it wasn't like working at I worked for Tulsa Gamma Ray for a long time, and we would do industrial radiography. So we would take a radioactive source and go take pictures of welds with it, and you expose yourself to radiation obviously every day in an industrial setting. And you don't have lead protector like a normal X-ray technician, so like you're only allowed to like expose yourself to so much radiation per year, and
right.
That's what this feels like now going to work at.
Exactly. It's so stressful.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like you can't see radiation. You know what I mean? Like it looks just like a virus. Like it looks invisible. You can't see it, but you're picking it up while you're sitting there next to it. And it's killing you, and you won't know it for just like this. You wouldn't know it for a day or two, or maybe a couple hours later. You would start feeling like shit and start getting sick. But yeah, it reminds me so much of that now, and that's how I feel when I'm there the whole time. I'm like, fuck, man, like 12 hours a day and like seeing 70 to 200 people a day. Yeah, it's too much. Like, or it was, I should say. It's been good to like kind of reflect. I obviously missed the fuck out of being normal and not working with 2 70-year-old fucking geriatrics, but besides that, it's like, yeah, I don't know. Dude, they are so goddamn boring, and like
I know, dude. Dude, I go back to the shop tomorrow. Like I'm just like fuck. Like thank God Lowe's is there, but it's like oh my god.
Dude, for real.
What the fuck?
What the fuck? Like what the fuck? Dude, the disorganization of what the fuck is going on out there, and like what we're trying to do. He has a giant shed, basically an airplane hangar, and yeah, like a 10-car garage, and he built it for the purpose of putting a grow house into it. Well, the ceiling's too high, so instead they were going to put it in a storage container. So they were moving things out to the storage container, something happened, and they lost electricity to the storage container. So now instead, we're taking everything out of the garage and moving it into a storage container. The guy's a hoarder, okay? So half of my job all day is to sit here and watch this old man go through his shit and go, you know what this is right here? And explain to me some fucking 50-year-old machine while I sit there and, oh, it's so irritating, man. And like, and then half the shit that we're supposed to, yeah, and we're supposed to be moving this shit, just get rid of it. Get the fuck rid of it. And I can't tell you how many times I hear this. I'm just going to put this over here just in case we need this. I'm like, hey, not going to need that. Never.
Fucking hoarding like a motherfucker.
Oh, it's so irritating. But yeah, it's like, God, I would kill to be back at a fucking normal place, but at the same time, I'm like, nah, I'm fine where I'm at.
Just normal life, but is normal life going to continue? It's like, what the fuck? But, all right, man. Hey, Hallie's giving me a look.
Yeah, I understand. Really. All right, brother. I appreciate you chipping in.
Yeah, dude. I'll holler back.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Later, dog.
Later, man. But, all right. Well, that's going to go ahead and conclude this one. 37 minutes is good enough. Or 34 minutes is good enough. Yeah. Hopefully kind of ended on a bright note there. But shit's weird. Everybody wants things to be back to normal, but just be grateful that you're healthy and that you have somebody. And if you don't, make this a time to fall in love with yourself. You know, do what you can to make yourself be the person that you want to be. And, yeah, it's a good time to focus on mental and physical health and just realizing what you want. All right. That's it. Love you guys.